You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
As Charlie Touche often says, there's two times of. Actually, I've butchered it already, but basically over here at Go Time Dolphins, you've got football season and waiting for football season, and after months off, we finally have football again, albeit pre-season. Miami Dolphins, Atlanta Falcons, Hard Rock Stadium. I cannot wait. So to delve into that, as always, I have Mr. Charlie Touche. Charlie, how are you?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. I should be able to say that a little bit faster.
I think today will allow you. I think you have a valid reason for not saying it that fast, but yeah. Before we delve into that, so if you're new here, I am from the UK. If you can't tell by the accent, then yeah. So Thursday evening, I am out and about with some friends. I've got this exact Dolphins hat on and a purple X-Men hoodie. And I walk in and the guy, sees me, says, fins up. I'm like, hey, yeah, fins up, being polite, as you do. So I walk past him and he goes, Kadeem Simmons. So I'm like, turn, because I don't know the guy. And then you get that awkward moment where it's like, do we know each other and I forgot your name? So I'm like, yeah, hey, how are you? He's like, yeah, Kadeem Simmons, Go Time Dolphins. And my mind was just like, okay, stop. Like, the one thing you don't expect is to be stopped in London for your Dolphins podcast. So shout out to Sabby, great guy. He's been a Dolphins fan since the Dan Marino days. If you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a picture showing up very, very shortly. But yeah, I had to voice note Charlie, say, hey Charlie, this happened to me. It was amazing. And yeah, just absolutely crazy.
So just to be clear, it was a random said Kadeem Simmons. I listened to the podcast.
Yep, he said, he mentioned you said Charlie's a big fan of yourself, big fan of the Dolphin UK podcast as well. So this is myself and Sabby. Sabby, if you're listening, again, shout out to you. Great to meet you, and yeah, welcome to the, I guess, Go Time Dolphins,
bro. I just feel like I love the connection. Shout out to Savvy, what's happening already. Bro, I just feel like it was supposed to be like, yo, like, for example, when we came to London the first time against the Saints, when the weekend I met you, the day before I met you, actually, the day after I met you, I guess.
Yeah.
But we brought 3 extra tickets because the rest of our friends were supposed to be coming too. And we wanted to sell the tickets. And then I was like, you know what? I got a better idea. We're just going to give 3 tickets away to like randoms and then turn them into forever Dolphin fans. You know what I'm saying? And then it didn't happen like that either. But I'm just saying, like, I just felt like the connection was, it sounds super dope. You told me about it yesterday. I was like, oh man, Kadeem made it big time. We're in trouble now. You know what I'm saying? but I felt like there was something else I wish we could have just solidified it with. But we got Atlanta Falcons this week, Kadeem. What's going on?
Yeah, it's weird. So again, if this is your first time, listening to Go Time Dolphins, normally our game previews, we're talking about so much. We're doing oh, by the way, we've definitely got to do no huddle. obviously there's no injury report, but I feel like it's pre-season, so the weather report, like we need to get that going. So if you're ready for this,
see, I didn't know we was doing that, but I didn't even brush up on. It's preseason. You feel me? So none of this goes on the record. You feel me? So
not at all.
I might throw a pick the first time out. I might throw this might be bad, but we can do it.
Get out of the way now.
Get out of the way
now. But yeah, it's preseason, and as we mentioned on the last episode, we don't even really know who's going to play. I feel like some teams have already said their starters are not playing in preseason. You mentioned some teams do that, but as for the Dolphins, I reckon with the injury to Aaron Brewer in the joint practices, do you think that's going to change their mind at all and say, you know what, starters, sit this one out. We do not need you to pick up any injuries, especially on that offensive line.
So our center just got hurt because we haven't had a podcast to tell everybody. But center got hurt, and Connor Williams signed to the Seattle Seahawks for 1 year, $6 million. I'm gonna say that again. Connor Williams signed to the Seattle Seahawks for 1 year, 6 million quid.
had to throw the quid in there. Had to.
6 million quid, mate. Like, bro, y'all ain't had $6 million laying around for Connor Williams just in case as an insurance policy in the lease. You know what I'm saying? So here we are. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, so Jason Sarney came on the podcast last week, and he basically clarified that Connor Williams not returning to the Dolphins isn't because the Dolphins didn't want him. It's basically because Connor Williams just wanted to change the scene. Yeah, he wanted to a change of scenery. And obviously, a lot of people say, you could have thrown more money and all that kind of stuff. But it genuinely just sounded like he had his time in Miami. He wants to go elsewhere. And at that point, what can you really do?
Kadeem, like, hear me out, though. Seattle? NFC West? Like, let's be realistic. They're not even gonna make the playoffs. It just sound, pardon the pun for a Dolphins podcast, but it sounds fishy. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you left the Dolphins to play in Seattle for $6 million, where Seattle's not even gonna make the playoffs because you wanted to change the scenery. I don't know, man. Something don't sound right if you ask me. But yeah, you had something. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna say, shout out to Charlie Wilson was in my DM saying, "Let's go." It's like, move for me, man, not now. And yeah, I don't. Of all the teams to go to, I wouldn't have picked Seattle, but again, if this is what him and his agent felt was best for him going forward, 1 year deal, I don't know. The Dolphins need to try and find a center ASAP, and it can't be Liam Eichenberg.
I don't know, bro. Like, I'm not against. I know we up against the cap, but I'm not against future assets, bro. Using future assets to secure the line right now, because if you secure the line now, you're securing it also for your future. So I'm not against moving some picks around to try to bring somebody in, like not a fifth round pick to bring in somebody who's third on someone else's roster. I'm talking about a significant trade capital to bring a cornerstone piece to this O-line. Almost like, what's a second round pick going to bring back? What's a first round pick going to bring back? What type of lineman does that look like? Someone who probably hasn't gotten paid yet, but is maybe on a rookie contract, and we could get him for 2 years. Who does that look like? You know what I'm saying? And then that would probably cost more than a one, but I think I'd be open for it. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on their situation. Maybe they're not happy, and maybe we could get them, move them. But yeah, man, I'm open to exploring.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. Mike McDaniel came in, Chris Greer gave him a shiny new toy in Tyreek Hill, said to the Chiefs, here's a bunch of picks, said to Tyreek Hill, here's a bunch of money, and they did that to get the best out of Tua Tagovailoa. You've now paid Tua Tagovailoa, and to continue getting the best of him, keep him upright, go and bring someone in. So, I listen. If I'm Chris Greer, I'm doing that. I would have done it last week, the week before, but I'm 100% doing it now because I really feel like you have to.
To be fair, it's not like we always hit on O linemen in the draft. You know what I'm saying? So might as well see what we get. Like we know what we're going to be paying for. We want someone good. Here goes a pick for someone good. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we always hit on O linemen. So I'm open to trading, and I'm pretty sure we're going to use a 1 and a 2 on. Well, actually, I'm not sure we're going to use a 1 and a 2 on the O line next year. But I would imagine we're going to use a lot of draft capital on O line next year. I would hope we would. So why not just fast track it? But Atlanta Falcons coming to town, playing in Hard Rock Stadium. And I'm be real with you, I was at the game last year. It was real cool. But I'm thinking, Kadeem, the Chiefs are starting their starters. The Bears are starting their starters. Washington is starting their starters. And back in the day, when those 4 preseason games, it was an understanding that the third game was like the dress rehearsal. Now, with only 3 preseason games, everyone does it different. And this is like, I don't know if so many teams have dress starters the first preseason week since the new rule change when it came to, one less preseason game. But here we are. Where were you with Tua playing preseason?
I think I said on the last episode, it's 2 drives max. And when I say 2 drives max, it's if the first drive is, you drive down the field and you score points, cool. You've done, like, even if it's a 1-play touchdown, I don't care. You've done your job. If the first drive is a bit sloppy, it's like, you know what? Let's go back out there, try and, I guess, fix some things. But I think with the O-line we have, it's weird. You have to see this O-line protect Tua in the season, so why not start in preseason? But I also kind of feel like, in the nicest way possible, chuck someone else behind the offensive line while they figure things out over the next few weeks, because I don't see the point in having any unnecessary risks with Tua. This is his 3rd year in the system. There's continuity across, skill positions, play calling, and stuff like that. I legitimately don't think we need to see Tua at all. Not this week. For me, not this week.
So that's what I was saying. I was just about to say it's the 3rd year in the system. He's never in his life been able to say he's in a 3rd year of an offensive system ever. This is the first time ever into his life that he's been in a system for 3 consecutive years. Yeah, I don't know that we need to see him. And I don't know that we need to see the starters at all this week. Maybe that last week, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the 3rd week where you get a week off after that. And you know what I'm saying? You just, you cranked up the car, cranked up the old school, got to run a little bit. You didn't really go nowhere because you ain't got no plates on it. So you just took it around the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we need. You know what I'm saying? That's all we need, bro. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And it's just, you just want enough to where you don't go into the Jacksonville game as that being your preseason game.
Yeah, I agree. I think, no Tyreek Hill. We need to have a conversation about Jalen Waddle next week, because apparently he's hurt at the moment, and like, guys, what are we doing? But that's a conversation for next week. Aaron Brewer sounds like he's hurt. So for me, it's Andrew Meyer, the center, the UDFA. He's getting every single snap this game, because I need to see what he's like in, with live bullets going. And so it's essentially a case of
live rounds.
So see, again, I'm not a shooter. Like Call of Duty, yeah, but outside of that, I'm not a shooter. So yeah.
Hey, you know there's a T in shooter, right? He said, "I'm not a shooter. I'm not a shooter."
Yeah, like water shooter,
No.
like it,
Bottle water. Bottle
But
water,
no,
yeah.
I think
I'm not a shooter.
I think week one especially, and we've had the joint practices. Shout out to Rondell Moore, horrible injury out for the season. You never want to see that ever. Yeah, I think
Rondell Moore is my dude, and I still wish the Dolphins drafted him. And I draft him in every fantasy football season, like every year. I draft Rondell Moore because I just know he's gonna show up. Like, oh yeah, we're waiting on the arrival. So for him to be out for the season, man, like that kind of hurt my heart for real.
yeah, it's yeah, just horrible, 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 horrible. But yeah, again, no to on Armstead. I don't think maybe see Patrick Poole a bit, but again, it's to me.
No,
we're
gonna see Pat P. Yeah, we're gonna see Pusha P.
Pusha P.
Pusha P. You pushing him around.
Listen, again, sound like he looked pretty decent in camp so far. So yeah, it's to me week one, especially against the Falcons. It's a case of it's backups and UDFAs. I'm just saying names. No Javon Holland, no Kendall Fuller, no Jalen Ramsey. It's backups, UDFAs, and maybe like a few rookies. But basically, it's week one. The starters are taking a week off, in my opinion.
Did you hear that just now?
Yeah, sound like you got a ghost in the house. There it goes again.
I think there's like a trash truck, a dump truck outside. I think that's what it was. I tried to get the microphone on mute, but I didn't get there fast enough.
No worries. Like it wasn't that bad. I can't imagine the listeners are like, "This is the worst podcast." Too much noise in the background. Like,
Kadeem said, "I'm not shooter. I'm not shooter."
You know what? Talking about shooters, like I said, if this was week one or any week, you would say throw us into no huddle. We don't need a full no huddle. We don't need the music just yet. It's preseason. We're still figure some things out, but we need the weather report. That's the one thing we need. Again, and for me, it's more a case of just making sure you are ready for week one, because week one, when we're face to face, and I put you on the spot, and that pressure is different because I like to run you. I don't want to hear, "Oh, did he get no practice?"
I just feel like I'm Tua right now, and this is the first practice of training camp, and you telling me to run a 2-minute drill. Like, bro, we not gonna warm up. We not gonna, throw some outs and ins and corner routes right real quick. We just gonna run a 2-minute drill without the music, by the way, too. Like, bro, why can't I get music?
No, do you know what? I sprung this on you literally as we
No. So, we're still gonna do it. I just want the music. Why can't we do music?
No, we can do music. Music's not an issue.
Fire up the tunes. There will be no easy money because I do not believe in betting on preseason games. So I will not encourage you guys betting on preseason games either. While the producer and the DJ / shooter is getting the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, listen, no betting on preseason game, y'all. That's not what we do in here. But
no,
yeah, man, fire the base cannons.
You ready? You can hear it, right? But I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Now I can. Right.
All right. What we got?
So, weather on Friday in Miami, Florida. Let's go for 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
86 degrees Fahrenheit. Since it's preseason, there's no clock, so I don't.
No clock yet.
All right. So
all good.
86 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see how we do this. 43 minus 29 degrees Celsius.
Charlie Touche doesn't need warm-ups, doesn't need ins and outs, just on the money. Okay, wait. I'm not gonna say on the money. It was a bit, like a fraction behind the receiver.
It was like 30.
Even so, it was
30 degrees.
30 degrees.
Bro, hey, listen, man. Hey, I went streaking last year, bro. Like I went streaking, like when we made it to the playoffs streaking. You know what I'm saying?
Just
and then
about.
the comments had messed me up. You feel me? So hey, I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah, as I said, anyone who's new to this, checking us out for the first time, normally this portion of the show, it's injury report, weather, fantasy stuff, and then the easy money bet of the week. But there's no fantasy, there's no injury report, there's no bet. So again, this is more just Charlie getting warmed up and stuff like that.
Kadeem just really wanted to see what I was gonna do. Like that's all he like. You know what? I'm gonna put this on him. See if you're ready. But if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's true. That's true. I can't imagine it's been a long episode simply because the game is 1 in a few hours, but 2, we just don't know what we're gonna get from the Miami Dolphins. But I guess my question to you is, what's a key position you'll be looking out for in terms of like the battle? So like, is it edge rushers, or again, it's more a case of it don't matter too much?
I just want to see 2 people. That's it. I want to see Mo Kamara, and I want to see Malik Washington. I believe Odell Beckham Jr. is stunting Malik Washington's growth. Like he's ready to go right now. John Legend, Andre 3000. That is Malik Washington. I'm ready to go right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he ready to go. Give him the green light. You know what I'm saying? Like Malik Washington. Like I know he's ready. Dang, bro. But yeah, I'm cool with it. Let's get out of here, Kadeem.
You're the outro guy. Like I'm not the outro guy.
Hey, y'all know what time it is, man. Savvy, that's his name.
Sabby. Yep, Sabby.
Shout out Savvy, man. Got to encounter, you know what I'm saying? We vibing over here, man. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
So to answer my own question, yeah, Mo Kamara is definitely someone I want to see. I mentioned Andrew Mayer a bit earlier, the center. I think the Dolphins need to try and find a backup to Aaron Brewer that isn't Liam Eichenberg. And then again, I think that's really it for me. I just like seeing the UDFAs. It's who's gonna make a name for themselves and really push for the final 53-man roster.
Bro, who is that basketball player that never played football that's like 6'9"? And
is it Brian Matos? Is it?
Oh, it is Matos.
Yeah,
Matos, probably. Matos.
Yeah, Bayron Matos, yeah. The Dominican Republic, played basketball and the tackle. So again, I'm sure we'll see a bit of him. Interested to see what he looks like. But yeah, I think
is there any interest in seeing what Skylar Thompson and Mike White do?
There's interest, I guess, to see who the backup's going to be, but we know the Dolphins are going to carry 3 quarterbacks, so it's like, and I don't want to see either of them unless we're blowing teams out of the water. So I assume
I think Mike White get paid way too much money to not even be what we need him to be, in my honest opinion. I'm just saying. I think we need a better backup. And I want to be clear. I do not want to allocate money to this backup, but we need a better backup. So make it work somehow. Don't go spend $8 million on a backup, and don't give us Mike White. But
then, like, it's interesting you say that. You might see a lot of Mike White to kind of push him into the shop window. It's like, hey, you know, if we're going to try and find some offensive linemen, and we need more draft capital, if you can showcase Mike White, and listen, he's not going to go start nowhere. Like, let's be crystal clear, that's not going to happen. But maybe a team needs a backup, and it's like, hey, do you know what, Mike White, we've seen what he can do in the league. It's not much, but listen, teams aren't going to come calling for Mike White, but it's the NFL, you never know. So you might see a bit more Mike White, maybe see a bit more Skylar Thompson, because, you know, you can see how he's developing. But to be fair, that's one.
How much is Carson Wentz making right now? He's on the Chiefs. He's backing up Patrick Mahomes.
Carson Wentz's contract signed a 1 year, $3.25 million contract.
I'm not tripping, bro. Like, there's better backups out there for less. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's what I want right there. I want that right there. $3 million backup, Carson Wentz. That's what I want. I don't want Mike White.
Technically, Mike White's only getting paid $4 million this year.
Hey, we're pinching pennies over here. Pushing peas, pinching pennies, bro. Like, and Carson Wentz is light years ahead of Mike White, bro. He's way better than Mike White.
Yeah, I can't really argue that, but also you're not going to see if you see either of them during the season.
Andy Dalton doing? What's Andy Dalton doing?
Andy Dalton,
and I'll give you one more after this one, just to put the icing on it.
Dalton with the Panthers.
How much?
He is being paid. So Andy Dalton signed a 2-year, $10 million contract with the Panthers.
So he makes $1 million more than Mike White. Now, to be clear, that's still better. Like, you paid him more, but you're getting Andy Dalton, not Mike White. However, he's also being paid to mentor Bryce Young. So it's a little different. That's why he's getting a little bit more. Last but not least, what's Jameis Winston doing?
Saying dumb stuff on
that boy. Hey, you cannot hate, boy. That thing was funny. hey, Jameis Winston bust out a freestyle rhyming in Cleveland about Deshaun Watson, and just came off the top of the top of the dome. He should have just dropped the mic and walked away. But yeah, man. Yeah, y'all haven't seen
Paddy Whack.
Give a dog a bone. Oh man, I rock with Jameis, man. How much is he making? And he's in Cleveland right now.
1 year, $4 million.
Come on, man. Why we got Mike White when everybody else got somebody better for the same money? Am I tripping, bro?
No, I'm the person I'm surprised you didn't mention.
Hold on, real quick, before we pass on Jameis Winston. Bro, you know how fun this offense would be if Jameis Winston had to play? You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're not gonna wish injury on nobody, but the phantom concussion protocol that they hit Teddy Bridgewater with. Remember that? Oh, you gotta go. They took our quarterback out of the game out of spite, right? And now imagine Jameis Winston comes in. Bro, he's going bombs away every play. Like, that's what I want. I want Jameis Winston as my backup. That's fun football right there. That's Ryan Fitzmagic all over again. That's what I want right there. I want Jameis Winston as my backup.
But the thing is, I want that when we're a bad team, I don't really care. Like, you know what, win or lose, I just want to have some fun.
No. But we have to have a backup though, so he could be the backup.
But what if you have to see the backup in action?
You wouldn't want to see bombs away to Tyreek Hill every single play with Jameis Winston?
Well, again, I guess as with 99% of teams in the NFL, if you lose your starting quarterback, your season's basically done. So it wouldn't
Unless
be the
you're
end of
the
the world.
Philadelphia Eagles.
And that makes no sense. But yeah, like I said, I'm surprised you didn't mention a particular quarterback you would want to go and get.
Jaren Hall,
yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
I gotta imagine he's on the block right now. They're probably gonna cut him, and we could just pick him up. Honestly, like who's behind? Oh yeah, so they got Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy. That's why, yeah, they're probably gonna cut Jaren Hall, bro. And I'm gonna be right there.
They've got four quarterbacks. The fourth quarterback is Nick,
because you can keep three.
Yeah, what I'm saying, but they've also got Nick Mullins. And like
matter of fact, cool. Hey, bro, listen. Jaren Walker walk right up into the locker room and get the backup job, right? That's what I'm talking about. See, Kadeem, like, bro, he has 3 years on his contract. Jaren Hall probably gonna make $600,000 next year. That's what I'm talking about, bro. We need that right there.
Yeah. Again, if you can, let's have a look. Jaren Hall contract. Signed a 4-year, $4 million contract when he signed with the Vikings last year. So an average of like $1 million a year.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's it right there. We need to go. Well, we're not trading for Jaren Hall. They're gonna let him walk. And we're gonna bring you back to the practice squad if no one signs you. Hit the brakes. Jaren Hall goes to Miami. I'm telling you, but that's what we need right there. I'm all for that.
We will see how that pans out. You got anything else to say before we head off out of here?
Nah.
Then, guys, we finally made it through the barren months of March and June and no football. The Miami Dolphins take to the field once again as they look to march all the way to the Super Bowl next year.
Hold on,
we'll be here.
My bad. You were doing so well. But you know where "Beware the Ides of March" came from?
You interrupted me for that.
I did, because we're not in March, and I should have just waited like 6 more months so I could use it. Like, hey, what Go Time Dolphins with the Miami Dolphins podcast, "Beware the Ides of March." It would have been perfect. But you said March. Why'd you bring up March? You could have just said like July and August. You know what I'm saying? But you said March, and it brought. You know what I'm saying?
Because we're in August now, so like that's.
But you said March though.
Yeah, because like what happens in March? There's nothing like in the football calendar. Nothing happens in March.
But you know where that come from? Beware the Ides of March.
Enlighten me.
The people in the comments know where. I bet you Sabby knows where it came from.
Then you know what? That's something I'm not going to research it. But that's the best reason to come back and look at our Falcons review to find out where that is from. Is that fair?
Here's a hint. Et tu, Kadeem.
That's French. So now, listen. Football season is back. The Dolphins are playing football. And yeah. Make sure you return for our Falcons preview episode in the next few days. But until the next one, peace.